Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Does Audra help Nick solve Noah's case by running the risk of being arrested for revealing a secret? By revealing a long-kept secret, Audra Charles might run the risk of being arrested. Will Nick Newman be able to solve Noah Newman's case with Audra's revelation? Holden Novak helped Audra out of a bind when she was living in Los Angeles. Based on some of his remarks, Holden blamed Audra for the mess, which was clearly against the law. Holden has repeatedly clammed up when Claire Newman tries to get the entire story out of him because he doesn't want her to think the worst of him. But sooner or later, admirers will undoubtedly learn that hidden secret. It might be opportune that Noah is currently facing some difficulties of his own. Sienna Bacall and Roger Howarth's character, Mitch, who is probably going to be Sienna's lover, are connected to Noah's own mess. Mitch may be responsible for Audra's uncontrollable circumstances if he is the cause of Noah's collision. Will Audra share the information that could be essential to Nick's comprehension of Noah's case? Audra clearly still cares about Noah based on her response to the news of his crash. Noah really won Audra over when they were a couple, even though she doesn't fall in love quickly. Audra might therefore run the risk of getting arrested if she tells Nick the whole unpleasant tale of whatever transpired with Holden and possibly Mitch. Nick might be able to make sense of everything if Audra makes an astonishing admission. Despite their disagreements, Audra might ultimately save his grandson from Victor Newman. It would be intriguing to see whether Zuleika Silver and Lucas Adam have on-screen chemistry because YNR is hinting that Audra and Noah will reunite after he emerges from his coma. Audra might be one of the characters drawn into this Los Angeles plot in the near future. Stay tuned for details on how Audra might assist, as spoilers for The Young and the Restless indicate that Nick and Sharon Newman would stop at nothing to learn the truth about Noah's trauma. Audra Charles has always walked a dangerous line between ambition and survival, but now she's standing at a crossroads that could change everything. The question on everyone's mind is simple yet electrifying. Will Audra risk everything, her freedom, her career, even her reputation, to help Nick Newman uncover the truth about his son Noah's mysterious crash? Or will the long-kept secret she's hiding from her days in Los Angeles finally catch up to her in the worst possible way? What's clear is that Audra's involvement with Holden Novak and the dangerous events surrounding him might be the missing piece Nick needs to finally understand what really happened to Noah. When Noah Newman was left fighting for his life after a suspicious collision in Los Angeles, the Newman family was torn apart by shock and confusion. Nick and Sharon Newman, united in anguish, demanded answers. But as the investigation dragged on, new pieces of the puzzle began to surface, all leading back to one woman who never quite escaped her past, Audra Charles. For months, Audra has carried a secret so heavy it's begun to crack her carefully curated image. Her entanglement with Holden Novak wasn't just a fling or a fleeting mistake, it was a desperate alliance formed under duress, and it might be the very reason Noah's life was put in danger. Back when Audra was living in Los Angeles, long before she cemented herself as a powerful figure in Genoa City's corporate world, Holden Novak came to her rescue. She was in trouble, financially, emotionally, and possibly legally. Holden, with his smooth charm and questionable connections, offered her a way out. But his help came at a price. Over time, their partnership evolved into something darker, a shared web of lies and cover-ups that neither could escape. Based on Holden's own remarks, he's blamed Audra for the mess that followed, a mess that, according to insiders, might have involved fraud, blackmail, or even something much more sinister. Now, with Noah lying unconscious in a hospital bed, that same mess threatens to resurface. Holden has clammed up every time Claire Newman, Victoria's daughter and a close ally of Nick, tries to get the truth out of him. He's hiding something that could shatter lives if it came to light. And Audra knows exactly what it is. But confessing that truth could easily put her behind bars. Holden's illegal dealings didn't just implicate him, they tied Audra to actions that could be classified as obstruction, conspiracy, or worse. Yet, despite the risks, she's haunted by the knowledge that her silence might be the very reason Noah almost died. When Sharon told Audra about Noah's crash, something inside her broke. She tried to maintain her usual poise, the calm, composed, calculating Audra everyone knows, but her mask slipped. The trembling in her voice, the way her eyes darted to the floor, said everything. For someone who claims to have moved on, Audra's reaction made it clear that she still cares deeply about Noah. He was one of the few people who ever saw past her armor. Their romance may have ended badly, but it was real. Noah was the one man who believed there was good in her, the one man who made her feel human again. That connection might now be the driving force behind her moral reckoning. If she reveals the truth about Holden and his link to Mitch, the mysterious man believed to be Sienna Bacall's lover, she could help Nick solve the case and bring justice for his son. But it won't come without cost. Audra's knowledge could make her an accessory to crimes committed years ago. She's not naive, she knows what happens when the Newman family gets involved. Victor Newman protects his own, and Nick will do whatever it takes to uncover the truth. If she steps forward, she'll be exposing not only Holden but herself, and that could lead to an arrest, or worse, retaliation. Still, guilt is a powerful motivator. The more Audra watches Sharon's desperation and Nick's relentless pursuit of justice, the more she realizes she can't hide forever. Every time she looks at Noah's photo, she remembers their laughter, their fights, and the way he once told her he saw through her lies. "You pretend you don't care," he told her once, "but you feel everything. You just don't want anyone to see it." Those words echo in her mind now like a haunting refrain. Maybe it's time to stop pretending. Maybe it's time to feel everything, and do the right thing. The Los Angeles connection is becoming impossible to ignore. Sienna Bacall, a name that has recently resurfaced in connection with multiple scandals, seems to have played a role in Noah's downfall. Her association with Mitch, portrayed by Roger Howarth, paints a tangled picture of manipulation, passion, and revenge. Sources suggest that Mitch might have been behind the wheel, or at least the mastermind, of the collision that nearly killed Noah. And if that's true, Audra may be the only person who knows why. Her history with Holden Novak gives her insight no one else possesses. She knows his patterns, his secrets, and his alliances, including his potential ties to Mitch. It's entirely possible that Holden's illegal dealings in LA created a ripple effect that drew Noah into danger. Maybe Noah discovered something he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he stumbled upon one of Holden's schemes while trying to protect someone else, perhaps even Audra herself. Whatever the case, Nick Newman is starting to suspect that his son's accident wasn't an accident at all. When Nick confronts Audra in Crimson Lights, the tension between them is palpable. "You know something, don't you?" he demands, his voice low but filled with fury. "If there's even a chance this could help my son, you owe me the truth." Audra hesitates, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. She wants to tell him everything, about Holden, about the illegal operation they covered up, about how she thought she was saving herself but might have doomed someone else instead. But then she remembers Holden's threats, the promises he made to destroy her if she ever turned against him. "Nick," she says finally, her voice trembling, "if I tell you what I know, it won't just ruin me. It'll ruin everyone." That's the heartbreaking truth. Audra's secret isn't just about her own guilt, it's about a chain of events that could implicate powerful figures, possibly even people connected to the Newman family. And yet, the thought of Noah lying unconscious, his life hanging in the balance, gnaws at her. She's tired of running, tired of lying, tired of pretending to be unbreakable. Later, alone in her apartment, Audra replays her time in Los Angeles like a broken film reel. She remembers Holden handing her a folder filled with documents, false accounts, coded messages, transfers she was told to process without asking questions. She remembers Mitch showing up one night, warning Holden that someone was getting too close to uncovering their operation. She remembers hearing Noah's name for the first time in connection with it, and feeling her stomach drop. "You don't want to get involved," Holden told her coldly. "You walk away, and you forget what you heard." But she couldn't forget. She's been carrying that guilt ever since. And now, fate has forced her hand. When she finally shows up at Nick's door days later, her expression is grave. "I can't live with this anymore," she tells him quietly. "You need to know what really happened." As Nick listens, the story spills out, the manipulation, the threats, the cover-up. Holden's illegal activities weren't just financial, they involved dangerous people with ties to organized crime in Los Angeles. Mitch was one of them, and Noah, investigating something entirely different, accidentally stumbled into their path. As Nick processes the shocking revelations, anger and horror cross his face. "So you're telling me my son almost died because of you," he snaps. Audra's voice cracks as she answers, "Yes. But I swear to you, I never wanted this. I tried to stop it." Nick's rage is volcanic, but beneath it, he sees her torment. She's risking everything, her job, her freedom, even her safety, to give him the truth. And despite his fury, he knows this is what he's been waiting for. Audra's confession might be the key that unlocks the entire mystery. But the danger is far from over. Within hours of her admission, Holden Novak gets wind of what she's done. A chilling message appears on her phone, "You shouldn't have talked." The fear is instant and paralyzing. Audra knows what Holden is capable of, and if he feels cornered, he'll lash out. Nick, sensing the threat, immediately vows to protect her. "You did the right thing," he tells her. "Now let me take it from here." But Audra shakes her head. "You don't understand, Nick. It's not over. Holden won't stop until he's silenced everyone." That warning might prove prophetic. Because as the investigation heats up, it becomes clear that Holden isn't the only one with something to hide. Mitch, Sienna, and even some powerful business figures in Los Angeles are desperate to keep their secrets buried. And now, with Audra's confession on record, all of them have a target on their backs. In a shocking twist, Victor Newman steps in to protect both Nick and Audra. For all his ruthlessness, Victor recognizes the value of what Audra has done, and the danger she's now in. She may have made mistakes, he tells Nick sternly, but she's one of the few with the guts to come forward. Don't let her pay the price alone. It's a rare moment of empathy from Victor, but one that might save her life. Still, the legal consequences loom. Audra knows she could be arrested for her role in Holden's operation, and she's prepared to face that outcome. If this helps Noah, she says quietly to Sharon at the hospital, then it's worth it. Sharon, touched by the sincerity in her voice, replies, "You loved him once. Maybe you still do. That's why you did it." Whether or not the authorities arrest Audra, her world will never be the same. She's finally told the truth, and in doing so, she set off a chain reaction that could bring down powerful enemies and change lives forever. But in the process, she may have redeemed herself. As Noah slowly begins to show signs of waking from his coma, a faint smile forms on Audra's lips. Maybe, just maybe, he'll get the chance to know that she fought for him, even if it cost her everything. And as The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest, this is far from over. Audra's confession is only the beginning. The fallout will be explosive, the alliances unpredictable, and the truth, once fully revealed, might just shake both Genoa City and Los Angeles to their core. Because when secrets this dangerous come to light, no one escapes unscathed. And for Audra Charles, redemption might come at the ultimate price, her freedom. When the truth finally comes out, it doesn't come quietly. The confession that Audra Charles delivers to Nick Newman spreads through Genoa City like wildfire. Word travels fast in this town, and whispers of Audra helped Nick find out what really happened to Noah quickly morph into Audra's going to prison. But what the gossip mill doesn't see, what no one but those closest to her truly understands, is the unbearable emotional toll Audra is paying for her decision to come clean. Nick can't shake the image of Audra trembling as she confessed everything. The haunted look in her eyes told him that she's been living in fear for years. Though his anger hasn't faded, how could it, knowing his son almost died because of her past decisions? Nick can't ignore the bravery it took for Audra to step forward. Still, in his heart, he wrestles with conflicting emotions, gratitude, rage, confusion, and a grim determination to make sure no one else gets hurt. As Nick and Sharon watch over Noah in the hospital, the atmosphere is thick with tension. Sharon wants to forgive Audra. She sees a woman tormented by guilt, someone who might finally be trying to do the right thing. But Nick's fury burns hotter. Every time he looks at his son hooked up to machines, he remembers Audra's part in the chaos that brought them here. Even so, he can't deny that without her confession, they might never have discovered the full truth. The next morning, the Newman patriarch arrives. When Victor Newman strides into the hospital room, everything changes. His presence alone demands silence. "I've been briefed," he says coolly, his sharp eyes darting from Nick to Sharon. "This woman, Audra Charles, she's involved in what happened?" Nick nods grimly. "She was involved, Dad. But she's also the reason we finally have a lead on who really did this." Victor crosses his arms. "Then she's valuable. Don't let her go to prison before we get what we need." It's not a statement of compassion, it's strategy. Victor sees the bigger picture. Audra's knowledge could help him dismantle an entire network of corruption that reaches far beyond Los Angeles. Holden, Novak and Mitch may just be pawns in a much larger game. If there's one thing Victor Newman despises, it's powerful men who think they're untouchable. Meanwhile, Audra sits alone in her apartment, staring out the window at the city skyline. The adrenaline that carried her through her confession has vanished, leaving only exhaustion and dread. Every shadow feels like a threat, every noise a warning. She keeps replaying Holden's message in her mind, "You shouldn't have talked." Those 4 words echo like a death sentence. She hasn't slept in days, afraid that if she closes her eyes, someone will come for her. She's seen Holden's ruthlessness before, she knows what he's capable of. She also knows that if Mitch and Sienna Bacall are still in the picture, things could spiral even further out of control. Mitch has always been unpredictable, charming one minute, dangerous the next. His connection to Sienna adds another layer of chaos. Together, they've built an empire of manipulation that thrives on blackmail, deceit, and emotional destruction. Now that Audra's spoken up, they'll view her as a liability, one that must be eliminated. In the following days, Nick works closely with the authorities to piece together the evidence Audra provided. His focus shifts from rage to purpose. This isn't just about revenge anymore, it's about protecting his family and ensuring justice is served. But every step forward feels like walking through quicksand. Holden and Mitch have both vanished, their last known locations traced to an abandoned property in Los Angeles. The evidence trail is murky at best, and even the LAPD seems hesitant to dig too deep. "Someone's protecting them," Nick mutters to Sharon as they review the reports. "There's money involved, big money. That's why this whole thing has been buried." Sharon nods, her voice filled with quiet conviction. "And Audra's the only one brave enough to expose it." At the same time, Audra finds herself under investigation. Her confession may have helped Nick, but it also opened a Pandora's box of legal consequences. Christine Williams, now working with the Newman legal team, pays her a visit. "Audra," she begins gently, "you need to understand something. You've done the right thing morally, but legally, this could destroy you. You participated in a cover-up. Even if you were manipulated, you're still accountable." Audra swallows hard. "I know. I couldn't keep living with it. If Noah hadn't been hurt, maybe I'd still be running, still pretending. But I can't do that anymore." Christine studies her carefully. "You realize Holden and Mitch won't go down without a fight. You've painted a target on your back." "I know," Audra whispers, her voice breaking. "But if this helps Nick save Noah, it's worth it." The irony isn't lost on Christine. In a world where everyone is scheming for self-preservation, Audra Charles, once one of the most calculating women in Genoa City, is finally doing something selfless. A few days later, Nick pays her a visit at her apartment. His knock startles her, she nearly drops her cup of coffee as she opens the door. "Nick," she says quietly. "I didn't think you'd come." "I had to," he replies. "We got confirmation from the LAPD. Everything you told us checks out. Holden was running a shell company, laundering money through fake art deals. Mitch was his enforcer. They'd been moving dirty cash through Los Angeles for years. Noah, he found something he wasn't supposed to. That's why they went after him." Audra feels her knees go weak. So it's true. They really tried to kill him. Nick nods grimly. Yeah. And now they're running. But I'm not stopping until they're caught. His eyes soften slightly. What you did, it took guts, Audra. I don't forgive you for what happened to my son, not yet. But you helped us get one step closer to justice. That matters. Tears threaten to spill, but Audra holds them back. I never meant for any of this to happen. I thought I could outsmart Holden. I thought I could keep everything under control. But I was wrong. Nick sighs. You're not the first person who got in over their head. Just, be careful. These people are dangerous. His warning comes too late. Later that night, someone breaks into Audra's apartment. She's asleep on the couch when the sound of shattering glass jolts her awake. Heart pounding, she reaches for her phone, but the lights suddenly cut out. In the darkness, a shadow moves. She hears a voice, low, menacing, unmistakable. You talked. Audra screams, scrambling for the door, but the intruder grabs her by the arm. Holden sent me a message, the voice hisses. He said if you want to stay alive, you'd better disappear. Suddenly, headlights flash through the window, Nick's car. He bursts through the door seconds later, tackling the intruder to the ground. The struggle is intense, but Nick's rage fuels him. Within moments, the man flees through the broken window, vanishing into the night. Breathless, Nick turns to Audra. Are you okay? She nods shakily. You saved me. He helps her to her feet, his jaw tight. They're not playing games anymore. We need to get you somewhere safe. By the next morning, Victor has taken charge.